What is up, guys? How's it going? Hope it's going well. Hope you're building cool shit, breaking it, building it again like we do. So today I want to talk about my 1991 Dodge Daytona Shelby. A lot of people are interested in these, but they're not very expensive. They're super fun, so I want to talk about them. I'm going to do a lot of things to this car over the next few months. I'm a welder. I do things like this with stainless, and I'm getting into titanium. I'm wanting to build my own radiator and intercooler for this car. I'm having trouble finding a core for a radiator, but if you can help me with that, let me know in the comments. If you know someone who'll sell me just a core, because Mishimoto doesn't want to. I'm also going to be doing some variation of an aluminum intake, all TIG welded. Also a stainless steel exhaust manifold. Thinking about making a sidewinder, maybe even running a production run of those for all the Turbo Dodge guys. Make some custom radiators, intercoolers, all kinds of stuff like that. Maybe even the titanium intercooler pipes I'll end up putting out if they're affordable enough. So yeah, a lot's gonna be going on. Today, my plan is to pull the nose off and get a look at what's inside so I can decide how I want to route everything, how I want to mount the custom intercooler, and probably use the same intercooler mounting bracket that I have at the moment, maybe improve upon it a little bit. But I gotta decide where I want that radiator to go, what size radiator I'm gonna need, all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna figure out what all I can cut out, make this thing a little bit lighter. I might have to add some material in, but hopefully it'll be less than what I take out, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's take a look at the car. Sorry, I'm a little shaky. I do not have the best phone mount, and when I hold it in my hand, you can hear every time I move my hand. So I love these taillights. It's got a full 3-inch exhaust, straight piped. Shit on me all you want, it sounds good. These things I think sound like chainsaws when they're not turboed, but this car sounds great. Unfortunately, I can't start it for you. It has no battery in it right now because it's a little early, but it's down for the winter. It's getting a lot of work done, so it'll be back and better than ever. The interior is a little rough. It's pretty good, but at the same time dirty. This is the only rip, but it's just a little worn, sun damaged, stuff like that. I think this is really cool. You got your seat controls on the door, power mirrors, a couple more controls. These wings actually move in and out, I think is awesome. We've got boost and AFR. The factory boost gauge is disconnected, although I want to get it hooked back up because that's pretty cool to me. I do have some wiring issues, typical with a Dodge, but nothing that has really stopped me from doing anything, going anywhere, nothing like that. My lights always work. Radio's just finicky. Some of the gauges don't work 100% of the time, but they do work most of the time. So it is an old car, but I really enjoy it, and let's get to work tearing it apart. That's enough talking. Alright, so this is where I'm going to set you guys up for now. I think the first thing I have to do is take this up here. I hope I don't have to take the headlights off. I might end up doing it either way. But yeah, so basically today, goal is to get the bumper off, this nose piece, whatever else has to come off to get them out so we can get a clear view. The back of the radiator, where the intercooler sits, everything that's going on under there. This thing is a lifesaver. Highly recommend buying one of these. They're really not that expensive. And dude, it's got I think it's Diablo is the brand of metal cutting attachment. And it just hogs through steel, like so fast, like an angle grinder. It's insane. Alright, so getting that bumper off was a bit of a hassle because of old fasteners and shit. You can see that that bar across the bottom is the piece I built to mount this intercooler. It's just, there's one bolt right there and one bolt at the other end. I was gonna put one right there, and well, you can't see it from this side, but right there and in the same spot on the other side, but I ended up not doing that, and I think because of that it rattles a little bit. But you can see there's a bolt there, it goes up into the intercooler, and a bolt there. Well, there's supposed to be a bolt there, but didn't line it up right, and I put the whole thing on, and I was just like, fuck it, I shouldn't have been. But those are some of the improvements I'm gonna make on it, is make that whole line up, get more bolts in it so it's more solid. It is very solid at the moment, but yeah, so I think you can see that dent there. I'm not sure what that's from. Maybe from hitting a bump and it's sitting on that bar. I'm not sure, because there's a like a nipple that comes out with threads, so that might have crashed down and dented it, but I don't know if that would be enough. But yeah, I'm gonna build a new intercooler, a little bit nicer than that one. That one came with the car. It's big, but it's medium quality. It's a nice barn plate though, so it definitely cools well, and I don't think there's any leaks in it, but still gonna build a nicer one, hopefully. Now I'm just working on, gotta get the few little screws that are underneath this edge out, and then we gotta go up top and take that radiator valance plastic piece off. And I think there's gonna be some more shit up here. I think we might have to take the radiator, or just that top platform piece of metal underneath the valance as well. Well, I probably wanna take that off anyways, but let's get to it. So got everything I could for now. To get this nose piece off, gonna try to take this upper valance thing out. It's kind of strange, it doesn't seem like these are moving. This one will behave though. Oh my god, they're plastic screws. Wow. Oh, that did it. Fuck yeah. Give it a little upwards pressure. There she comes. Must be an easier way. Well, that's an easier way. Oh, yeah. So much better. Never been under here. Awesome. Now I'm working on taking the headlights off. They're 10mm, but this one's stripped out. And I was able to get a 3/8 on here. Just 4 bolts. Alright. I didn't record a lot of that because it was slow and miserable and painful. But the front end is off. Next comes the bumper. And I'm gonna cut as much of this stuff out as I can and put something in, bars or something to support it, hopefully, if I can do that. And then the next step is gonna be building everything that we're gonna put in there. Well, pulling everything out of here. The AC condenser, I'm gonna delete the AC entirely. Pull the radiator out. Drain the coolant, of course, to pull the rad. Pull all this intercooler piping out. Do all new out of titanium. Intake titanium. So every metal piece here is going to be titanium. I'm going to try to eliminate as many boots as possible. Like this will be one piece. And then I'm not sure what I'm going to do from there, but at least this will be one piece. I might make that one piece, but we'll see. what happens. The intake come out there. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with that yet. I want to shoot it somewhere where I can get a lot of cold air. I don't know, there's a lot of different possibilities, but we'll see. All right, how's it going, guys? So today we're draining the coolant. We're gonna see about getting the radiator out, maybe deleting the AC today. I'm not sure exactly what I'll need to put in after that to seal everything up, but I gotta do some research on that, so we might not do that today. But gonna drain the coolant, get the radiator out, get everything ready so that we can cut this front, some more of this front wall out here, like this piece, and basically gonna cut it right up there. And so everything from here over this way to here is gonna be gone. We're gonna leave this top piece, but everything below that from here to here will be gone. And then once we delete the AC, we'll have that AC condenser that you see right there. We'll have that out of the way, and we can start building our custom radiator. Once we find someone to get us a core, we can start doing the new intercooler and intercooler piping, and do an intake. Gonna do a lot more engine bay cleanup, everything that I can. Might relocate the battery to the hatch or something like that. After that, we've got just a tiny bit of rust repair to do in the wheel well, not the wheel well, the spare tire compartment in the trunk. And there's a little bit of rust starting that I want to take care of underneath the rear driver's side floor pan. I'll give you a closer look at what we did yesterday. So we took the nose off. First we took the lower bumper off, the little skirt. We got the nose off, the headlight brackets, the headlights themselves. Let's see, I think that might have been everything, but it was a little bit more involved and took a little longer than you'd think. So I want to get things like this taken off. I'm gonna have to fabricate another mount to come down there, because you can see on the side there is a bolt, but that just looks like shit, so I want to take that off so that that bolt that holds the nose on can still be there. These threaded little clips from the factory, you can see the line there where we're gonna cut. Those will be gone. Same on this side. So I'm gonna make drop down pieces, probably out of stainless steel, weld them on. That'll be the mount for our headlight brackets. And since this piece is already cut out of there by someone else, having a better bracket for the headlights will be better, because they were kind of floppy. I mean, not noticeably when driving or anything, just when taking them apart I noticed it wasn't very solid. Once I cut this out, I'm gonna do some bars in here somewhere to keep the support of this flat piece, because that's got our hood latch in it, so I gotta leave that. Plus it would just look weird without it. I gotta figure out some support bars that, I don't know if I'm gonna do diagonals or just straight up and down in the center, but I was thinking about doing them to keep the structure, but also making them part of the custom radiator mount, intercooler mount maybe, if I don't use this piece of angle iron that I have mounted up on the bottom here, coming along here. If I don't use that, I'll use those bars somehow, make some brackets, but I want it all to be very accessible and easy to take apart. So, you know, if I change my mind with the direction I want to go, or something breaks and I have to replace it, that's the main reason for removing so much of this front firewall, I guess you can call it. It's not a firewall, but that's the main reason for removing all that, is just to have accessibility, lots of clearance for any kind of piping so nothing's rubbing, and also just a cleaner look, so that, especially with these jagged edges over here and stuff, you know, that could cut wiring, that can cut intercooler boots. I've already got both of my boots are against that edge a little bit, but I bent the edges out as much as I could so it wouldn't cut the boots up. So I'd like to just get it out of the way entirely. Yeah, we've got a lot to do. All right, so the wiring harness that comes down here for the fog lights and the headlights and the headlight motors on both sides, I just have them tucked up in right now. So I'm gonna take those out actually just to get some more room so that I can drain these intercooler or radiator hoses into the pan I've got down here. And yeah, so let's do that. Alright, so I labeled this driver's side headlight harness, and the other one I labeled passenger side, just to keep track of everything. I didn't label anything from taking all of this stuff off, because there were really very few actual parts, just a lot of fasteners, which definitely going to be replacing, you know, with some stuff that's a little less old and a little better of a look, hopefully, if I can achieve that. So, yeah. Alright, so the radiator's out. That thing was junk. I mean, it worked great for a while. Eventually it wasn't cooling this very well. I did add some power to it, so that may be why, or it may just be old, but, or both, honestly, because it is old. But, it's leaking from like 3 different places, so that's junk. I want a nicer looking one anyways, one that can handle even more power than I've got right now, or at least cool it, not handle it. But yeah, so I think our next step is either going to be the intercooler piping. Yeah, probably the intercooler piping's got to come out next. I want to delete the AC real bad, but I don't know if I can do that. AC condenser looks kind of beat up, so I think it may have leaked all the fluid and shit out, or the Freon or whatever it is. I want to make sure I have everything to seal it up right. Alright, so I did a lot. We got the AC out. It was empty like I thought. All the whatever was inside of it, the R12 or some other chemical, It had all leaked out, so we got that removed. Everything's out. We gotta finish taking the pipes off. I think I can do right now. Well, I'm gonna need 2 hands, but yeah, the clamps are loose, so they're ready to come off. The intercooler is loose. Then I think for a little while I'm just gonna be doing cleanup, getting everything clean that I can see and get at, because I want this to look nice, very nice. I think I'm gonna do the intercooler piping and the radiator and the intercooler and the intake pipe, and then, you know, it'll obviously be fitted all up to get the right fitment as I build it. And then we're gonna take all that shit out that we just put in, and we're gonna pull the motor. That's when the real cleanup will begin in the engine bay and on the motor. So yeah, this is the beginning of something very cool, I think. Alright, so the intercooler is out. This is that bracket that I built to hold it with a couple of holes. This hole doesn't line up. I tried to reshoot it, and of course it ended up being right in the middle, so I'm gonna remake a better bracket, or either in that same spot or closer to the radiator. Looking real clean in here. This is a repair actually that I did previously. This whole cross member, you can see it's like, that's on that side, but on this side someone curbed this thing going pretty quick, and they ripped this completely off the side rails of the subframe. So I had to, it was real difficult pulling that back, and I was doing it right in here with the thing on the ground, so I had to pull it back with a come along and weld it in place while it was held by the come along. I was terrified it was gonna let loose and smack me, because I had to pull it back a good 3 inches. But it looks awful, and I didn't even quite finish it, as you can see here. So I'm gonna grind it down, try to beat it into a better position. Get this so there's no gap here, and weld that up, and then get it all, because I started, it's dirty right now so you can't really tell, but I started undercoating it with a black. It's actually a nice looking shiny undercoat material. It's got a little texture to it. Comes in a can, but I like it, and it seems to hold up well. So I'll finish that off, or maybe I'll do something better, I don't know. And then I'm just gonna clean out in here, detail it essentially. We'll pull the battery tray out, probably pull the computer out. Front Wheel Drive Performance. It's one of the companies that supplies parts for these cars. Yeah, they've got a lot of support, so awesome thing for people to, if you need a cheap car, you want a cheap project, you can get these running for $3 grand, maybe a little more. I bought this one and drove it 3.5 hours home. I bought it for less than 4. Alright, so I've been messing around with this for a while, trying to get the bolt out of this, the left side of this runner, and I cannot get on it. I've been using a swivel on an extension, and I've been getting real close, and I've gotten on it, but I can't stay on it. So took out this map sensor and the little solenoid that's with it, because that was right here in my way. So now, oh yeah, now I can get way down in there and hopefully slide that socket right onto that bolt. Alright, I'm having so much fun trying to get this intake off. I've still got all but 2 bolts out. And I jacked the car up and crawled under there, looked up, and after trying swivels and different extensions and all kinds of stuff, I even cut and welded a wrench so that I could get in there, but that didn't work either. So I think I'm gonna have to drop back the exhaust, loosen it up so it'll just move back and down a little bit, and then I hopefully will be able to get the intake out, but you never know. We'll see. Wish me luck. Well, it's official. I've given up on the intake and exhaust, getting them off. Instead, I'm going to pull the motor. So I'm disconnecting the wiring harness. Gonna get the motor mounts and trans mount and everything undone. I think that's everything that's got to be disconnected. Power steering lines. But yeah, I guess that'll be for another video. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. Got a lot of cool stuff coming up.